understanding and utilizing, get the most out of your UBC by utilizing your manual. And it really is what separates the UBC from pretty much any other course out there. All the other ones I see out there, and of course they're getting more and more popular, just tells you what to do, You know, you follow this, you do that, you do this. Well, the UBC is going to want more from you. We want you actually mentally engaged in your progress, almost like taking a 10-week course in fitness, wellness, and nutrition. And of course, if you're taking any course, you have to fill out your workbook, okay? How are you going to get your A? You know, think about it. You're taking a 10-week course in anything, and they give you a workbook to fill out, and you're supposed to turn it in at the end, and you can't even find the darn thing. What are you going to get? A C, D, unless you're one of those super test takers. Most of us aren't. Those of you who fill out the manual, do everything that's required, are going to get your A. And what's your A? Looking, feeling, and just shining at the end because you're in great shape. Can't emphasize enough. Stick with your manual. Let's talk now about the kickboxing segment of charting your progress. This is the easiest portion to chart. Now, let's first of all talk about how we do it. Of course, we just write down the time, how long you train, whether it's a 45-minute or an hour class, or maybe you took a special workout, and it's an hour and a half, whatever. And then you rate yourself from 1 to 10. Now, I have some special ideas for when it comes to rating yourself. You know, I tell my students this all the time. If you drive by the school or the fitness center and you know you're supposed to be training and you get a twinge of guilt, I'll give you a 1 in exertion, okay? Just for the twinge of guilt because you care. Now, if you get out of your car, you get into the place, but then you turn around and get back in your car, I'll still give you a 5 in exertion for getting out of your car. Because back when I used to compete, my trainer always said, you know, just get into the gym and work out, and if you turn back around, that's fine, but at least you walk in. Because he knew I was probably going to do something, and I'll give you that same benefit. So, once you get in your kickboxing class, you're rating from a 6 to a 10. What's 6 and 7? Well, we should know there's only 3 good reasons not to train when you're in the UBC. That's illness, injury, or death. Point being is if you're hurt or sick, you know, you're going to take some time off. And when you come back to that, you're not going to come back at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You're going to come back at like a 6 or a 7 in exertion. In other words, you're there in spirit. Sometimes 6 or a 7 is just the day you don't want to do it, but you do it anyways. 6 or 7s are important, because you're training on days you don't want to. Everybody that has 9s and 10s only but only trains half the time don't get the results. It's the ones that train every day has 6 or 7s. Now what's an 8? 8 is for those of us who may just be starting the UBC, need to kind of hold back a little bit. In other words, I could push a little bit harder, but I know I got to work out tomorrow, so I'm going to hold back and save it, because creating the habit of training every day is more important than going crazy in one workout. So that's an 8. Good workout, broke a good sweat, yeah, but I held a little back. What's a 9? Well, the 9's the killer workout. 9 is pushing it to the end, pushing it, giving it your all. That doesn't mean we're getting sick. That doesn't mean we're getting lightheaded, which is signs that we're overdoing it, which means we need to take a break, take some water, and stop. But a 9 is knowing at the end we gave everything we had in that workout. That is a 9. So I'm sure you're thinking, well, what the heck's a 10? Well, you know, the problem with fitness is that most of us, not that we aim too high and miss, is that we aim too low and hit. In other words, set high expectations for yourself. In your kickboxing class and you're pushing at the end, what's a 10? Well, it's when it's the last 30 seconds and you can't punch that bag any faster and harder, because you have so much energy at the end. You're finishing strong, and the final round you're done, you feel like you can go another 10 rounds. That's when the endorphins are being released. You know, we just feel great. We feel empowered by the workout instead of exhausted. That doesn't happen all the time. It's a rarity. So if I look at your manual and it's 10, 10, 10, 10, then I know you're not taking the course nearly serious enough. But periodically, we should have 10s. In a 10-week course, maybe 5 or 6 times. Usually towards the end of the course, as we really start getting in shape, and all those benefits, physical and psychological benefits from exercise kept coming through for us. So that's how you want to chart your progress. That's why it's important, but also gives you reflection. You know, we talk about staying in the moment. If you're going to rate the end of your workout, you have to stay in the moment, because you have to think, how am I doing? And at the end, taking 15, 20 seconds to think, how was that? How hard did I work out? And then rating yourself, and then maybe jotting down just a little 1 or 2 things. Need to work my side kick. Wish I could push harder at the end. Something along those lines. I can't tell you what a benefit that is to you in getting results in this course. Again, continuing talking about charting your progress to get the maximum results out of your UBC.